Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
Is really true, is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass, guys, because 32 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 32 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. Yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. Guys, I want everyone out there who's struggling to know that someone is listening. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. I am here for you. My services to you are free. Please, please reach out. Okay, and also, if you think my book can help someone, because I do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing. You can go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, BAM, it's everywhere. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. And guys, subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. A lot of cool stuff is happening, and you can also order the book from there. So guys, you know I always bring it, right? Well, I'm bringing it again, baby. Yes. This lady is no stranger to the Geri Petito Show. She's amazing. She's become a friend, and she is off the charts. Beautiful inside and out, and what a voice. Sharon Marie White, say hello to everyone. Sharon, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Now I can hear you. Okay, good.
Okay, good.
Was my mic on before? Did you hear me talking?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. All right, so Sharon, say hello to everyone.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Geri. Hope everybody's doing well.
So you've got a lot on your plate, lady. I mean, you haven't stopped, man, with your music. It's amazing.
Thank you. No, I've been between my husband and I, and our real jobs, and I keep working on the music, keep working on the art, but music usually wins.
So you have a new song. Tell everybody about the song.
Yeah, so in March, I released a brand new single called I'll Bring the Wine. And it's kind of a play on words, but I don't know about you, but I've noticed, through the years, you meet people, you meet couples, and sometimes they say they're broken up, but quite often they still spend time together because it's familiar. They've got that bond still. And let's face it, it's really hard to meet new people and stuff like that. So the song is just about, he calls her and says, I know we're broke up, but I'm kind of lonesome. And, and she's like, well, okay, I'll bring the wine and we can at least have a talk. And, so that's kind of what the song is about.
So, okay, was there anything personal involved in this song?
Well, it was an observation. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
Yes,
I
of
like
couples that I have seen. So
Okay.
yeah, an observation.
And
I'm a songwriter, so I love telling the stories, and I'm always observing people.
So, and I'm a poet, and I get it. I get it. I mean, there were times where I've actually pulled over on the side of the road and took out my pad and pen and had to write 2 lines that for some reason I saw something on the road that I was like, wow. So I get it, Sharon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people that haven't seen you on any of my interviews, let's talk a little bit about when your journey started for them.
Oh gosh. So going back a lot of years, when I was a really little girl, I just loved to sing.
Okay.
I would sing anything. I'd sing anywhere. In the beginning, I was raised on a farm, and my sister would tease me because she'd say, "Oh, you're singing to the cows, at least you have a captive audience." Like I had that freedom, being on a farm, and and my sisters were older than me. So when they were in school, I would run upstairs and listen to their 45s, and I would listen to the Beatles and the Stones and all that music and Elvis. And then my mom listened to country, mom and dad listened to country and western. And so I had all this plethora of music around me, and I was just like a sponge. And I had to learn all the words to every song. I mean, it's really hard to explain. I mean, I know you're a poet, so you understand the feelings that you put into a story, and poetry. And music's kind of the same. And I think most of us artists know from a very young age, it does something to us and for us. And that's that kind of how things started. And then when I was 14, I learned how to play the guitar, got in a band, and was playing every weekend. That was my summer job, best summer job ever, to be in a rock band and play cover tunes and stuff like that. So yeah, and then just as the years progressed, switched to country music. Had businesses and had children and the whole gambit. But music still always is a big part of my life.
Okay. So now, you mentioned a few groups and all that, but who were your favorite singers or groups back then?
Well, in the rock days, it was Heart and it was Loverboy, and because I did a lot of guy songs because there wasn't a lot of girl rock bands back then. But as far as female, I think I told you this before. The first time I heard Patsy Cline sing "Crazy," I was, even as a little kid, I was just, you got the goosebumps, and I was just, her voice, I mean, it was just amazing. So she's absolutely one of my favorites. Linda Ronstadt.
Okay.
What I love about Linda is because I write in a few different genres of music, and I mean, let's face it, she could sing anything, whether it's country or rock or pop. She sang, in her native language of Spanish. She did Broadway, like just amazing skill sets,
So, okay. So now, of course, I have to ask, what'd you think of Elvis?
Love Elvis.
Okay,
I've
come on,
always
baby.
loved him. Talk about, goosebumps, yeah.
I always have to bring Elvis up. Come on.
Well, I mean, look at how many people he has influenced.
Yes. So
You
how
know.
many songs have you written?
Oh, gosh. That's a good question. I'm probably in that, 20, 30, 40 range, but those aren't, and then there's more beyond that, but some are just ideas. They're not finished yet. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've released 8 singles, and I'll be releasing a brand new one on August 4th.
Okay, so then how about this? Can I ask you to just sing a couple lines of that one you're going to be releasing?
Sure. Actually, I've got my guitar here. I could do a few lines
Please?
if you like.
Yes.
Okay. I will be right back.
Okay. This is great. So, guys, this song, we're going to be playing Bring the Wine, okay? I'll Bring the Wine. We're going to be playing that. We're going to be playing 3 of her songs. But this one that she's going to honor us with hasn't been released yet. And she didn't know I was going to ask her to do this, so I'm kind of putting her on the spot. All right, girl.
So this one, Geri, I'm getting back to my roots because, I released Small Town Prayer.
Yeah.
That was like the second song I ever released. And this one is called Feels Like Home in a Small Town.
Okay.
There's a grand hotel on the corner that stands the test of time. Friends meet there for coffee, talking about the years rolling by. Folks out on their porch give away with an easy smile. Even to perfect strangers, kindness never goes out of style. No matter what town we travel to, anytime you look around, feels like home. Home in a small town. Yes, it does. Now the fountain has a plenty down at the rodeo. Grab a seat with anyone, feels like a stranger you know. Country music fills the air, just gently round and round. Hard to describe the feeling, just something about a small town. No matter what town we travel to, anytime you look around, feels like home, home in a small town. Yes, it does. That's all I'm gonna get.
So listen, that was beautiful. When country music, and you know this. I mean, everyone, there's all those jokes about country music. If you play them backwards, you get everything back: the house, the dog, the girl, right? You know.
Yeah.
But country music, the stories, they resonate with me because of my poetry. Because they really do tell an incredible story. Some sad, some happy, but it is a real story.
Yes.
Country music, man, is amazing.
And it's funny because all those years I was in a rock band, I would try to write music and it didn't feel authentic. And then when I switched to country, all of a sudden it felt like I'm home. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I can tell my stories and I can sing my songs. And, this one, it's funny because, Brad and I travel around a lot with work. And so I was walking around in this little town and I noticed, the hotel on the corner, and you walk through the parks and they have the epitaphs of all the fallen soldiers. Every single small town has all of those things. They have the rodeos, and like I said, people on the porch. And actually, I was walking around and folks on the porch were waving to me. They didn't know me, but it doesn't matter. So it's just the feeling of, okay, I don't know the people in this little town, but it feels like I do, right? So that's what that song is about.
That's beautiful. Wow, thanks for sharing that. Let's give everybody a treat. Producer, let's play one of our songs here.
It's been a hell of a week. Glad to see you gone. Gonna find me a happy hour so I can drink alone. Blow up a little steam with all of my neat friends. Pour me again. Pour me something on the rocks, but I won't be no stepping stone. Pour me a glass of your single malt. Guys think they're gonna take me home. Pour me that top shelf bourbon you save for the upper class. Leaving all my troubles behind in the bottom of this glass. A girl's gotta let loose now and then. Pour me again. I turn the TV on, but it's just more bad news. Gotta lift my spirits up to shake these blues. Another Friday night, no need to explain. Pour me again. Pour me something on the rocks, but I won't be no stepping stone. Pour me a glass of your single malt. Guys think they're gonna take me home. Pour me that top
beautiful, Cher. Tell us about that song.
Well, that was a dare from my husband. He said we were listening to country radio, and of course, it seemed like every song was talking about drinking or alcohol, and he's like, "I think you should write a drinking song." And I'm like, "Okay." So once I got the chorus, kind of came first, and yeah, and then I just started working on it, and it kind of all kind of came together. And I wanted it to be a female kind of anthem, like, if the girls are working hard on the week and they just want to pop into the bar and have a drink, and but not be really bothered by anybody. And I also like to put a little bit of my own sense of humor in there. If you listen to the lyrics, some of them are a little, um, tongue in cheek lyrics. I love to do that.
Well, it's your personality.
Yes,
So
that's true.
That's what makes it unique.
What's that?
That's what makes it unique.
I hope so.
Okay, it's beautiful. So now, everything that up until today, like, what's happening now as far as like your entertaining, and what have you been doing?
I did a few shows last winter. I played at one of the senior centers in town, which I think is really important to do because it's giving back to the community. I played at a house concert, those are very, very intimate concerts, right? Because I mean, the people are right there. It's in somebody's home, and it's just in their living room, and it was a little nerve-wracking, but it was still fun because you're still getting feedback from those folks. That was fun because it was a Christmas show, and I love singing Christmas carols too, so I enjoyed that. And then actually on Saturday, I'm going to be playing for a veterans benefit.
Oh.
Yeah, they asked me to come and play a few songs. And that's very important to me, Jerry, because my dad was a war vet, World War II. I was a Lance Corporal. So yeah, I think doing all those things are kind of important too. It's not always all about the money, it's about giving back.
So I 100% agree with you. I mean, we have some, facilities here, nursing homes and all that kind of stuff. And I would bring Santas there to sing. And, the people that couldn't even lift their heads, as soon as the music started, they would bob it. And
Yes.
they just loved it. So I agree with you 100%. That's so needed for all of us.
Yeah, and then it's interesting because they'll folks will come up to me and have a little chat afterwards, and you get to talk to people. And I mean, I just love people, and I love hearing their stories too. So I'm hoping to because a lot of times we're in another province, so I don't play a whole lot in that province. But like I said, come winter time, I'm trying to book some more gigs for the winter time and kind of get my name out there a little bit more.
Good. And for the veterans, I mean, come on, that's amazing.
Yeah, it'll be, and there's a couple other bands that are going to be playing too. So yeah, I think it's just a great opportunity to give back, and again, just to get my name out there a little bit.
Okay.
I was very honored to for my song. You haven't mentioned it yet, but well, I guess you have. I'll Bring the Wine. Somebody nominated us for Traditional Country Song of the Year for the Josie Music Awards. It's a song I wrote with Dan Washburn, who is a really great singer-songwriter too. So I was excited to be nominated because I
Right.
didn't put in for it. Dan didn't put in for it, so I'm not sure. And it's fairly that was fairly prestigious. So just to get nominated is
Sure.
kind of like it's kind of like cool.
Amazing. Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you.
So keep me posted.
I will do.
Okay. So now, what else, before we play any more of your music, what else do you want to share with people that haven't heard you on my interviews before about your music career?
Well, they can check out all my music on SharonMarieWhite.com, on all the streaming platforms, all that stuff, YouTube. But yeah, I also have a message of, if you have a dream, something you want to do, don't let anything stop you, especially age, because I almost, as you and I have discussed, I almost did that because I thought, what am I doing? But when it's in you, it's something you just, like I knew I would never quit writing music. So I thought, okay, I either give up or I go full steam ahead, get better at my craft, which is what I'm trying to do, whether it's working with other writers or just being more serious about my writing, and how it flows and the storytelling and all that kind of stuff. So I've got lots of songs still to come out. I'm working constantly. When we come home in the winter, Brad and I are always working on the new music. I've got a blues tune I want to get out. I can't wait because it's kind of a sad blues song, but I love the blues. I've got a bluegrass song that will be coming out. I love bluegrass.
Wow.
So yeah, it's it's kind of interesting because I don't even know how the songs sometimes come or when they're going to come or what style. I just go with it, and you really hope that you are affecting other people, with your music. And so far in the last 3 years, I mean, I've gained a following and gained fans, and that just means the world to me, Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, Sharon, but all right, so let me ask you something because I'm a fan and I just think you're beautiful. Like I said, inside and out, but your voice, amazing. When you hear your songs, like we're going to play another one, okay? Like when
Yep.
you hear your songs, what do you think of that song?
Oh gosh, another good question. Because I've heard them so many times, I don't know. I think I feel pride.
Okay.
I feel pride. I feel like, yeah, this is definitely worth doing. Whether I make any money at it or not, I mean, we all have hobbies and everything else that give us joy, and I get joy from it. My husband and I working together get joy from this whole experience. It is a bit of a roller coaster. You have to sometimes check your emotions because not everything is good. I mean, sometimes you don't get that airplay, or sometimes this happens, or sometimes that happens, but you can't. It's a roller coaster for sure. But if you really have that passion, you got to go with the good and the bad.
So, all right. So when you say the good and the bad, tell us what the bad could mean.
Well, I guess I shouldn't say bad. I guess I would say disappointments.
Okay, gotcha.
That's a better word.
Okay.
You got to push through those disappointments, because there could be some other good stuff around the corner.
You know what? Based on everything you just said, I'm going to read this poem now. I was going to wait and read it, but I think I should read it now because what you just said really, really resonates, and I think everybody needs to hear this. So let me grab this poem. Hold on. You're talking about putting it out there, and everybody.
And that's a scary thing, right?
It's a scary thing, but everybody needs to do that. So, all right, it's time. I'm going to read this now. I'm not going to wait. It's called Utilizing Gifts and Talents because we all have them, Shar, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So, we are born with talents. We are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us, not be abused. See, we can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves, and like we were talking about with the nursing homes, right?
Right.
It's not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, but not just for the money, to spread a peaceful sound. So don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, Sharon Marie White, your name will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on, so make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And Sharon, that's what you're doing. You are
That's beautiful,
making-
Jerry. That's
Thank you,
that's
sweetie.
very nice. Yeah, and you talk about the money, because
Yes.
sometimes I get hung up on, because this is very costly endeavor, but it's so it brings us joy, and then you're giving that joy back, right?
Yes.
The other thing is, not everybody's going to like your music. That's another thing. You've
No.
just got to be
Right.
But for the folks that do, then thank them and just keep carrying on.
Here's the thing. Everybody has different tastes, thank God. Because imagine if we all liked the same exact thing, the same exact music, the same exact colors. It would be
Exactly.
terrible because there would only be a handful of musicians that would even make it.
That's
Right?
true. Yes.
So
Yes.
we have to be part of all that and accept it and be like, okay, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Producer, let's hear our next track.
As I live day to day, been trying to find my way. I hope I have made you proud. Love hearing those old stories, memories breathing like air. Sometimes I call your name out loud with a silent, unanswered prayer. Got grandkids look just like you. See it whenever they smile. Not enough time to love you. Wish you could have stayed. Wish you could have stayed a while. Wish you could have stayed. Stayed a while. I was just a little kid when you left the way
beautiful, Shar.
Thank you. That was from my dad. I mean, he's been gone for 50 years, but you never stop thinking about them. You know,
Never.
that's what that song is about.
My dad's birthday was yesterday,
Oh, really?
but my dad passed away tomorrow 7 years ago. And he
Right.
passed
Okay.
away on the 40th anniversary of his own father's death. So he died on the same day as his dad 40 years later.
Oh,
It
wow.
was beautiful,
Wow.
though. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he lived a
Yeah.
long, happy life. But yeah, so, and you're right. We never stop thinking about them.
No, no. And it took me a long time, like, to be able to sing that and not physically break down every time I sang the darn thing, right? Because it was just so, even like I said, 50 years ago, you'd think, oh, well, you know, if people say, oh, you should be over stuff. It's like, no, you never get over it because you think, oh, I wonder what I wonder what he'd think of all this, you know,
Yes.
those sorts of moments, right? You know,
Yes.
and never getting to see his grandkids and that
Yes.
sort of thing. That's what that song's about.
Yes, that's beautiful. You're right. You know, I said to someone, I wish my dad could see me with my book, with my radio shows, and someone said, he is seeing you. I was
Right,
like,
right.
okay, thank you. So I needed to hear that. That was beautiful. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, Shar. We only played 2 songs, correct?
Bring.
We have
Yeah.
one more? Yeah, we have one more. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, all right. So now let me ask you this. You know, our musical tastes changes as we get older. Okay? And was there something significant in your life with music that you saw this dramatic change?
Other than switching from rock and roll to country, that would have been the dramatic change for me because it allowed me to, like I said, be authentic with my songwriting.
But what about when you
until-
hear the music? Do you still like it? Do you smile? Do you have good memories of it?
Oh, yes. Like, you know, we love we lived through the 70s,
Yes.
right? So, you know, we'll listen to 70s music in the truck and it's just like, oh yeah, every song, it's like, I'll say to Brett, oh, I was doing this, or I was doing that, or I was probably in my room doing homework,
Okay.
you know, like, oh, definitely. Those songs just, in fact, somebody posted on Facebook about, like, there's Canadian bands, Trooper, Loverboy, Streetheart, all those bands. And I said, that was the soundtrack of my life, like of my youth, I should say. So absolutely and that's how important music is to your life. It's like you can chronologically you know, put it out there, right?
You know, I feel the same way. You know, if I hear songs, I'm like, oh my gosh, like no matter what I love now, like I still stick with my oldies, my doo-wop, my Elvis, you know, but no matter what, I love all music. And when I hear these songs that I grew up with, I mean, my heart just is like, oh, you know, you remember where you were, you remember who you were with, you remember everything, good, bad, or indifferent, right?
Yes, and I think that is the amazing thing about music, for sure. Yeah, it just transports you back to that time.
That's right. And I say this most of my shows with musicians, you know, if you have a little baby in a bouncy, the baby could be 8 months old, 9 months old, 10 months old. You put music on, that baby's going to start bouncing.
Yes.
I mean, it's just innate in us, you know what I mean? We need music.
Yes, yeah, we do. And I think now, you know, after the pandemic and stuff, it's kind of had this resurgence of, like I said, the small intimate concerts or a lot of backyard parties, you know, and I'd love to play up for all that kind of stuff too, because I love meeting people. So yeah, that's the kind of thing I'd love to book more of too.
So that's beautiful. So before we play your next track, I don't want you to forget talking about anything important that you wanted to talk about today. The mic is yours.
Like I said, just for folks out there that are wanting to try something, put yourself out there. It's scary, but it's so worth doing. And I think the thing that surprised me the most was how many people are in your corner.
Yes.
that's, and I think that's something too. As we get older, we get a little wiser. You know, some of the stuff that we were worried about when we were in our 20s and 30s, it does not matter now. The little stuff, right?
Yep.
So yeah, and I think, and not to just zero in on women, but yeah, I think women, we have to keep supporting each other too.
I think that's huge.
Yes, yeah,
Okay. I mean, I feel 100% exactly the way you feel about that. And we've talked
yeah,
about this before, but you know, women need to support women. Okay,
yes,
not be
yeah,
jealous and not, that's all craziness. Okay?
yeah,
We need a support system and we need our girlfriends. That's what we
yes,
need, right?
exactly. Yeah, I
Beautiful.
agree.
Beautiful. So, producer, we're going to play our last track.
I got your text late Friday night, just after going to bed. You said, honey, I'm lonesome, been on my own some since we put us to an end. Got myself dressed, checked in the mirror and out, and jumped in my car. Just like an old song I've known all along, I'll be leaving right back to your arms. I'll bring the wine, 'cause there's a memory or two of much better times when I was over the moon for you. The past hasn't been easy between your heart and mine. Let's not look back tonight. I'll bring the wine. I know we're on and off again, but you crossed the line with me. Wish I could forget, but you're hard to quit. Guess I'm still a little crazy. Can't make up our minds between hello or goodbye. We're stuck on this merry-go-round. It's quite a dance, our modern romance, playing love in the lost and found. I'll bring the wine, 'cause there's a memory or two of much better times when I was over the moon for you. The past hasn't been easy between your heart and mine. Let's not look back tonight. I'll bring the wine. It's not like the movies, I wish it could be, but it's better than being alone. One day I might, it ain't tonight, like they say. I should have known. I'll bring the wine, 'cause there's a memory or two of much better times when I was over the moon for you. The past hasn't been easy between your heart and mine. Let's not look back tonight. I'll bring the wine. Baby, let's not look back tonight. I'll bring the wine.
I love it. Oh
Yeah,
my
that
gosh.
song's got people are really liking that one, and I think as a songwriter to have people understand what you're saying in the song is, oh, I know people like that, or they get what you're singing about. That is truly the kind of the icing on the cake as a songwriter.
Do you ever write songs for other singers or would you?
Yes. I'd love to do that. Actually, that would be probably my goal.
Oh, okay.
Because we're still working, so to actually, because I've got the opportunities to go on tours and stuff like that, but we're still working, so it's hard for me just to pick up and go. But yeah, that would be a dream come true. Another dream come true is to have other people, not just like famous people, but people that maybe get played on the radio and stuff like that a lot more. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm working towards.
Okay.
Maybe getting a publisher at some point, but you have to have the material. You have to show them, that you can do this.
Right. So, all right. Well, I mean, I want to thank you again because this was a lot of fun. I love sitting here chatting with you, and I love
A
your
lot of fun.
music.
Yes, thanks so much for having me on again, and I so appreciate your support.
Oh my gosh, always. And I love your music. I love your songs. I mean, I love that song, I got to tell you. Okay? Okay, that was very cool. I love it. Anything else you want to share?
No, just thanks so much for your support. And yeah, I'm just trying to grab some new fans along the way, and I'm going to be in this for the long haul. So yeah,
All
anybody
right.
wants to find out about my music, check out my website, streaming, and all that good stuff.
Tell them your website again.
It's SharonMarieWhite.com.
Okay, very cool. Sharon, I love you, girl. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. Give your hubby a hug from me. I thank you. I
will.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
And
thanks so much, Jerry.
keep
Take
me
care.
posted, Char.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take me out, Ruben.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.